Well, hey there, everybody. It's Lydia, the Tally Stitcher, back after almost a year hiatus for floss tubes. Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm the Tally Stitcher. I'm in the panhandle of Florida, and it's been, nearly a year since my last floss tube. Um, what has changed? What happened? We all know life happens. Um, you might hear maybe some mumbling in the background. It's my husband in the other room, but I think it's high time we caught up on a floss tube. So here we go. Let's get into it. I've got some stitching. I don't have any finishes as per usual. I've got a lot of haul, and I just want to kind of get back into things. Um, what are some big changes that have happened? Well, we got another kitty cat, Biscuit. He is a beautiful black panther. We got him as a kitten at the end of August last year. He's not the reason I haven't filmed any floss tubes. I would say it's been a combination of work being still absolutely bonkers. I'm at the same job, but there's been a lot of changes and a lot of movement. Here we go. Here's the boy. So this is Biscuit. He is a little troublemaker. Yep. And so here is his floss tube debut. So he is not even a year old yet. He's already bigger than our other two kitty cats. And he can be very sweet and very sharp. So we will see if we can get through this. I'm not even going to attempt to edit this. I'm gonna stick it up there. Maybe once we get back in the hang of things, I will try my best to do the nice little, inserts and stuff. But really, nothing you're gonna see today, I think you've even seen before on a floss tube. So, he knocked off the control for the camera. Anyway, let's get started. So, let's get I have no idea where that remote went. Okay, anyway, so these are some things that I've pulled around the living room that I have worked on in the last year that I can put my hands on and didn't have to go digging for. This is my beginnings of Modern Folk Embroidery's 2023 stitch along, reaching Skyward. I imagine a lot of folks are doing this one or have started this one. Maybe you're even on track with this one. But he made it super duper customizable for this year. And I absolutely loved that, of course. And went ahead and kind of tried to plot out the different things that I was going to change. I haven't made a ton of progress on this, but there's still some stitches in there. This is being done on a silvery moon Lugana, I think, and it's in this hot pink. Of course, the camera shadow is right on the stitching. Oh well, here we go, guys. So it's in a hot pink and a dark gray, which were from probably a thrift haul of cross stitch supplies. I'm trying to remember where I got these from. Okay, so earlier this year, earlier this year, my Nana passed away, and probably on my way to or back from that situation, I stopped by a thrift store because that's just what I do, and it was a hospice sort of thrift store, and they had a lot of materials from folks, I guess, who had passed through hospice. And I got a lot of floss, like 20 or 30, like a whole box of skeins of that hot pink and that gray, and then some other stuff. But I also saved a big stitch project, which I don't even know where it is right now. It's probably in the craft room, but it was a big piece, much like this big piece. I'm gonna have to shut him out in future floss tubes. Anyway, so that came from some saved stitches, saved cross stitch supplies. And that was the part of that. I haven't touched that in a couple months, probably since it first started. What I have been working on was as this piece, which is by CloRaMi. And this is the Flying High sampler. I forget who I saw working on this, but I fell in love with it. And as I often do, we all fall in love with things and want to immediately start them. So this is the Flying High sampler. And I took this recently on vacation with us. I don't actually think I stitched on this one during the vacation, but I have been working on it a little bit more recently. So this is the bottom of the first peacock. Let's see if we can make this look halfway decent. And yes, in the future, once we get back into things, the lighting will get better, my setup will get better. I'm just trying to get it done. So this is that first peacock, and I'm doing this in DMC 777. I also picked up a pack of variegated floss to do maybe the letters in. I'm not sure where I stuck it, but I'll find it when I get there. So this is just the bottom part of that first peacock. And I worked on this a little bit in the last couple weeks as I was trying to get my stitchy bug back. It was easy for me to work in just one color. I've been going over to a friend's house for craft nights, got her into cross stitch. And so sometimes we do that, or she'll crochet, and we'll do stuff like that. So there's that one. What I have been working on quite a bit, which I thought maybe I'd shown you guys, but apparently I hadn't. And I don't have a printout of what it's supposed to look like, but you can kind of already see most of it, is this piece. Is she upside down? No. This is, I'm holding it so you can see it. It's crooked in the frame. This is called Star Embrace by Luna Fox Designs. And I have really booked it on this one. Finished the snake entirely on vacation, as well as the back stitching on the snake in black. And now I'm working on all this white back stitching, which makes this beautiful rose pattern. And the pattern you could add beading to, I'm probably not going to, just so I can get it done. And so I'm really pushing for a finish on this, and that'll be my first finish in a while, and that's okay. I'm glad to see my stitchy bug coming back. Like I said, work is still hectic, but I'm kind of working my way through it and just saying, hey, even if it's hectic, we're gonna prioritize doing some craft work. And I have done other stuff. Like I said, I have a friend, we have regular craft nights, so I've done some painting, we've done a lot of collage, like paper collage, and just other things. I got her into cross stitching, so it's happening. The last Flosstube that I filmed last May, I was talking about how the weather was really nice and how I was really getting into gardening and writing poetry. I actually wrote a ton of poetry last year, which was really neat. Had another poem published at the end of the year. And I had a beautiful array of tropical ornamental flowers and plants on my deck that all got absolutely annihilated during a 5-day freeze we had. But that's okay. I am slowly going to rebuild. I'm not one of those people who spend $100 on a plant. I buy them here and there as they come to me, and I'll slowly rebuild it and start enjoying that out on the deck again. Yes, you will hear the boys fighting. So Biscuit, Giuseppe, and Cora. All right, so these are some of the acquisitions that I made sometime in the last year. I've made other ones, but I felt like I would share them. This is Night Walked Down by The Blue Flower. I think I got several of these in like a spending, buying, stashing spree. Can't tell you when it happened. Just felt like I should show it to you guys. I guess I got on a peacock kick because this has a white peacock in it. I do apologize for the phone shadow being directly where you need to see. I also picked up Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I think I had eyed this one for a while. None of these are started. I just wanted to show you some of the acquisitions. This one has a thingy bobber in it blocking the pattern. Yep. All right. This is Magpie and the Moon, another blue flower. I can tell I probably was on a kick for that. So we've got one of these. I saw a lot of folks starting this piece by Rosewood Manor, the A Tisket a Tasket. And I, of course, had to acquire. I don't know when I'll start it, but I'm super intrigued by the soft blues and the beiges. Just a beautiful pattern. I imagine when I do start stitching it, it's going to be very relaxing. And then I've also got from Rosewood Manor, Griffins of the Kingdom. This one looks like it's going to be fun. I haven't made any plans for these, so I don't know if I'm going to stitch like from stash in terms of like thread, if I'm going to go, with this black, red, and gold, or if I'll change them up. I have absolutely no idea. These were acquired in a fugue state. I'm not sure. Another Rosewood Manor is a cute little bell pull by Birds of a Feather. I've been really wanting to do a bell pull almost since the beginning of starting stitching. We even talked about making my Bach Tower pattern a bell pull, and by we I mean my husband and I. If you're new here, my husband also cross stitches, and you can see some of his work on Instagram at metalxstitch. And also, if you're a returning customer or a new customer, I made a separate Instagram account for just my cross stitching, which is Tally Stitcher. And I will put those below. That way you can find us. I can't tell if I got these around Thanksgiving or not, but here we have Glendon Place's Sir Thomas, who is always a favorite to come out around Thanksgiving. It is currently May the 1st, so it is not Thanksgiving. But here we go. He was the last one in the pile of things that I could grab immediately. So that was, I think, all came in like one haul at some point in the last year. I can tell you where I got the upcoming haul. So like I said, we went on vacation last week and it was very lovely. My husband and I hadn't been on vacation together in like over a year. We went up to Helen, Georgia for a couple days. We'd never been. And we also went to Athens for a couple days, where we had been several years ago, but it was like freezing cold, but this was a much better trip. So we acquired some stitchy things. This was acquired from the Georgia State Botanical Gardens. Little tiny cross stitch kit of like a cardinal. My husband got another one they had that was a little cactus, little potty cactus, and he already finished it in like a sitting. And that's probably on his Instagram. But that was a little souvenir. And then we also took the time to visit a local needle workshop. Excuse the rustling as I pull the stuff out of the bag for you. Down the way from Helen in Clarksville, which is like the next town over, we went to the Tudor Rose, which is their local needle workshop. Beautiful shop, absolutely packed with more patterns than I've seen, like physical patterns than I've seen anywhere. Great selection of floss, also carried yarn, just wonderful. The shopkeeper was very lovely. She was from Durham, so we always like when we run into Brits out in the wild. So we were in there for probably an hour, and I immediately picked this up, which is one of the DMC like printed canvases. I think this one is an amethyst. I'm just like obsessed, absolutely obsessed. And then I found what I'm going to call the perfect thing to go on it, which is New England Chapel by Cross Stitch Antiques, which is apparently a piece of a a bit of a larger sampler. Pretend I said that correctly. a larger sampler, but this is just a motif from that. And I thought that the flowers with their lavender and pinkies would go absolutely stunningly on that amethyst printed DMC. And so I went ahead and almost fully kitted it up when I was there. I think there was one color that I wasn't able to get, but it's not a big deal. And then I also picked up Needle Minder by Jessica Long Embroidery. And it's this very sweet little bird, super duper sweet. So she will go on that project when I start it, which I'm trying to decide if I'll start it, like if I can hustle through Star Embrace, if I can hustle through this and finish it, this may be the gift to myself that I can start something new. We are in May, we are in Mania. As I was reviewing the last floss tube I filmed, none of those pieces have I finished. I did get further along on the Luna Moth, but if you're just tuning in and you're just checking in on my cross stitch only Instagram, which is Tally Stitcher, it doesn't have the entire backlog of my projects. I'm working on that. If you still follow me on my main Instagram, I changed the name of that, and it's currently Poem Malone, because I was in my kind of writing phase, and I'm still trying to build in a schedule of my hobbies as they go, you know, from writing, other kind of crafting, paper crafting, whatever. So yeah, so you'll see some stuff on Poem Alone if you still follow that, but I am trying to put all of the cross stitch stuff onto Tally Stitcher. You can also find my link tree there, which will give you my Etsy shop where I do Florida historic architecture patterns and other little freebies that I like to design. Not everything's in the Etsy shop. Some stuff just is a free Google Doc that you can download. I've done several patterns like that. And then the last thing I want to show you, like I mentioned earlier, my Nana did pass earlier this year, and she is definitely where I get a lot of my craftiness from. She was a beautiful quilter. She was a seamstress. She could make dolls. She could crochet, did all sorts of stuff. And in her honor, I already had this pattern. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago. But because she was a seamstress, I want to start this month on her birthday, which is May 20th. And this is, pretty sure it's a Realist kit. Yep, so this is a Realist kit, and it is, I can't tell you the name of it because it's in Russian, Cat with Sewing Machine. So you may have seen this if I showed you a haul from Christmas 2 years ago. But it has the singer, it has the black cat. It's kind of sweet that both are incorporated, because now we have a black cat, which we didn't have when I first got this pattern, to my knowledge. My memory is all over the place, guys. And so it has the singer. So I want to maybe start this on her birthday, which is May 20th, and just work on it. It's not a super complicated project. So it'll be sweet to kind of stitch in her honor. And yeah, so like I said, I want to get back into doing this. I think I'm finishing up again the busy season at work. I know if you tuned in last year, if you scroll back and watch the last one, this is floss tube number 25, by the way. I'm pretty sure I checked this, number 25. I had just gone out of busy season, but we had a lot of leadership change, and a lot of folks left, new folks started, life happens, so many things. My Nana got sick, you know, life. But I do still stitch when I can. Stitching with the kitten was not happening while he was still in super kitten mode. I can stitch now a little bit better with him around. He doesn't automatically try to eat all of my stuff. Giuseppe, my older boy, he still likes to get cuddles and interrupt me then, but it's okay. At least we're doing some progress. I feel good about getting back into things and some new starts. And I don't know if maybe I'll do a whip parade maybe in July, see where we're at. Maybe pick up spooky summer stitching again. I know a lot of people like that hashtag. I know Chris Cross Stitch has kind of also been on hiatus because he's planning to like move country or something. And there you go. You hear the sound of the crazy boy. So yeah, it's good to see you guys. I am glad to be doing some content again, and I think you know, we'll do the best. I'll do the best I can to keep up or start a new routine and be able to show you guys things. I think once I get some finishes maybe under my belt, that'll feel good. Like I said, Star Embrace is pretty close. So is the Luna Moth that I started last year. I did not pull out A Year in the Woods, the Fox, which I started last year. I was going to pull it out during winter. That didn't happen. That's okay. We're not around here to beat up on each other. We're here to support each other any way we can. So yeah, I will see you guys when I see you, and I will try to make that more intentional, maybe like a midway through the month type thing. And I'll try to get some of my husband's projects to show you. I know a lot of you like to see his knitting projects and his cross stitch. He's been in a knitting place. He's got several sweaters on the needles. He's got a couple cross stitch things as well. But he's been really focused on that and some of his other hobbies, his miniature painting. Yeah, so thank you again. Like I said, I'll put some links below for Instagrams and the projects that I'm working on. If I can remember all of the floss counts and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure I've got everything. And I will see you when I see you. Happy May, happy mania if you're stitching. If you're doing monogamous May, happy stitching as well. If you're just out here, then that's great. All right, well, I will see you next time. Bye now.